Hey everyone, it's Aaron here from MTGChallengers. I'd just like to make this video to show you guys two apps in particular that I use basically every day as a Magic player on the go. I've been using apps for Magic the Gathering pretty much since early 2012, which is right when I started, because they're really useful. You can use them to keep score with the game, build and share decks. Apps, they make everything easier, and Magic's no exception. But I've only ever been totally happy with the two I'm about to show you today. They aren't free, so you are going to have to spend a couple dollars to get them, but I guarantee you if you get one of these, or hopefully both, you're going to be totally satisfied knowing that you have pretty much the best two apps out there right now in their respective categories. Alright, so the first one I'm going to talk about is one that you may have heard of, which is called Deck Builder. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it's basically your standard deck building app, just way better, and it has way more features than you might be accustomed to. So it opens up with a search bar, so you can search cards. Let's see, Blood Baron, just use that as an example. Search, and it pops right up. And you can either choose to have this simple thing where it's just a little picture of the art and a rules text, or like that you can have the full art scan here. Up here it says the current price, courtesy of whatever setting you have it to. And then down here you can quickly add whatever copies you want in the main and the side. So say you're building Orzhov midrange, maybe you want to do 3 in the side, or 3 in the main, 1 in the side, or all 4 in the main, or 2 in the main, 2 in the side. It's really, really quick and really easy to add cards. So you just added those, and then you go to the bottom deck, and they're in there. This is my Naya hexproof deck, so obviously I'm not going to be running Blood Baron in this case. So that was just an example. So let me take that out. So the search tool is really, really good because it has a ton of things you can use if you don't know the name of the card off the top of your head. And I've actually used this quite a bit. So say when Gatecrash first came out, you didn't know how to spell Obzidot, for example, but you did know it had Ghost Council in it, so you can just type in just Ghost Council, and you can still find it no problem. And also, if you have no idea what the name is at all, you can type in the color, produces mana if it does, type, rarity, cost, power, and toughness. So it makes it really, really easy to find just about any card you're looking for, even if you don't know the whole name or even the name period off the top of your head. Alright, so that's about all there is for the search part of the app. So let's go to the actual deck itself. This is, again, my Naya hexproof deck that you can see on the channel. Gameplay for that is coming very soon, by the way. Alright, so this is how it organizes the deck. 60 and 15 cards, main board, sideboard. You have 14 creatures, then the spells. Each group is organized by ascending mana cost. And then you have your lands and your sideboard. And a really good feature is that you can tap one card and sideswipe between them really fast. So say you want to I want to have a full 4 Boros Charm in the main, and I want to take out 1 Ethereal Armor and add in another Chain to the Rocks and take out this. Just like that, I made like 5 changes in a matter of seconds because of how really, really simple this app makes everything. We'll just go ahead and bring those back to normal. And if you don't like this type of organization, you can change it to organize by cost, so it has all the 1-drops together, all the 2-drops, 3-drops, 4-drops, like that. Color, so it has all the white stuff grouped there, green stuff and red stuff, and multicolored. You can have rarity, so it groups all the rares together, all the uncommons and commons, and so on and so forth. It's just a really, really customizable app that you can just use whatever mode you like to organize your deck. And up top here, you have a little graph icon that you can look at, and this is going to be a really useful thing to tell you all your deck statistics. It has it graphically laid out as to your mana curve, so in this case you have 10 1-drops, 13 2-drops, 12 3-drops, and 3 4-drops. And it gives you your average mana cost, which can be really useful in determining number of lands and things like that, and your exact color distribution, and the distribution of your various card types. So really useful screen here as well. Now I'd like to show you probably my very favorite feature of the whole app here. Go up there, you can do new deck, which is just going to create a new document that you can then add cards to. So let's say Madcap Skills. Yeah, I want to do 4. And they're in there, no problem. So you can start a new deck, you can save the current deck to your phone itself. But here's my favorite part about this. This app is actually fully compatible with iCloud. So basically how I work is I have all Apple devices. That's just how I like to roll. So I have an iPad, an iPhone, and a Mac. And this app really makes my Magic life really, really sleek with the iCloud integration. So basically, this app is also available on the Mac App Store, sort of a full PC version of it, and that's where I build 90 to 95% of my decks. I'm constantly on there, coming up with brews, editing existing ones, and finishing up final decks for the channel. So basically all my decks are on my computer. But that's not a problem at all because the iCloud integration actually enables me to carry my phone or my iPad around wherever I go and load up any and all decks immediately without having to save them to my phone itself. So I'm at my friend's house or my local card shop. They're like, hey man, what's your take on Esper Control? So you just go to load decks. Deck's not saved, whatever. This is my local deck, the only one I have saved on the phone itself. I just tap local, iCloud, and there are all my decks stored on the cloud wherever I go, whether I'm on my laptop, my phone, or my iPad. So I just click Esper Control, and it loads it right up from the cloud. Just a really, really great integration there. And again, it's probably my favorite feature of the whole app. Beyond that, going back to this screen, there are also a lot of other features. You can have deck notes, which just write something about it. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Price deck, which is a really useful tool here. It'll automatically bring up the total price of the deck, divide it up between main board and sideboard. Find cheapest set, yes or no. And you can click, it's set to TCG Player Mid, which is my preference, but it has a ton of other presets you can use from a bunch of other card retailers to fit your preferences as to buying cards. So you can set it to whatever you want, and then you can actually tap buy, and it will literally just log you into to whatever one you prefer you have it set to, and it will have it all in your cart, and you can just buy it in a few clicks. So just outstanding integration there as well. And you also have other things like test deck. You can draw your opening hand, so you can draw 7 cards just to test mana distribution, mana curve, whatever. You can mulligan, like that. Just draw hands of 7 over and over just to test the repetition, which is a really useful thing. A lot less cumbersome than actually drawing 7 cards of like a proxy deck or something. And you can look in your library, done and reshuffle, and draw cards. Add life counter. So basically you can just goldfish right from your phone instead of actually with real cards. So really useful there as well. And there's also a really, really cool and efficient feature where you can add basic lands. So you just select the amount of basic lands you want to add, say 15, and it'll automatically, based on the mana distribution, calculate the exact combination of, in this case, 15 lands. So in this case, you'll need to add 3 swamps, 5 plains, and 7 islands. So that makes it really easy to add as close as you can get to the exact right number of basic lands in each color. And then you can also share the deck with, I believe, AirDrop, send it in a text message, save it as a file, or attach it to an email. So overall, an outstanding and slick package. And there's also one other feature I want to go over, and that's the camera feature. And what that'll actually allow you to do is you can literally point your camera on your phone at a real card, and it'll actually scan it into your phone, into your collection, and into your deck. So it's really, it sounds gimmicky, but it actually works really, really fast and really, really well. So let me show you that right now. Alright, so I just have my sealed deck that I built for Journey into Nyx pre-release out here just to test this photo feature out for you guys, and it really does work pretty well. So you just point it at the card itself, select the set, in this case it's Journey into Nyx, and go. Yep. Yeah. Case. So Deck Builder, awesome app, highly recommend it, worth every bit of the $3 or $4 I believe it is, if you want the best deck building app out there at the moment. And it is available on both iOS and Android, so that's definitely a plus. And there's also one other app I'd like to show you here. It's called Magic's Little Helper. Let's go ahead and open it up. It is available on the iPhone as well. It's just easier to show you on a tablet. Unfortunately, as of now, I believe it's only available on iOS. So unfortunately, Android users don't have access to it, at least not yet. Basically, Deck Builder is hands down the best mobile app for building decks. Magic's Little Helper is the best app hands down for keeping score in games. So let's just go ahead and start a new game here. Really cool because you can create a list of players, so you can name the individual players and just have a pool of players that you regularly play with at your local card shop or whatever, and just select them all to add them into the game. So let's just do Aaron versus Cole. And another cool feature is that you can actually tick each individual color to match the deck type that each player is playing. So let's say Cole is playing Jund, so you can tick green, red, and black, and I'll play Bant, so white, blue, and green. So just a really cool and sleek integration there. Down here you can select EDH or not, so it'll change your starting life total to 40, and you can also do two-headed giant mode as well. So let's go ahead and start the game. Okay, so this is how it looks like in a standard one-on-one game. Really sleek, really pretty. It has an integrated dice roller, so you can decide who goes first, a coin flipper, and it also does have a database in here as well, so you can, within the app, so you don't have to switch to an app, you can just look up whatever card you want. Ethereal Armor. Yep, that's what it does. You got your rulings and its legality, and pretty simple, not as intricate as something like Decked, but still, it's within the app, so that makes it convenient. So this screen should be pretty self-explanatory. Just tap the plus icon to add life. You can hold it down and add it in bigger increments depending on it. And it can go, I don't know how high it goes, but it definitely goes basically as high as you could ever want it. And it also does have an undo button down here, so you can just tap it and return back to 20 if you want to undo a move or something like that. And if they get to 0 life or below, player's life is at 0, kill now, allow negative. And then it goes into something really cool, but it actually tracks statistics for each individual player, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let's go ahead and exit here. And one of the things that I really liked about this app is that most of the apps out there are kind of free, really stripped down, only allow 2 or even 4 players. Here I believe you can add up to like 8 or 10, so you can add all these guys to the game, and it will automatically lay it out like that. You can tap and hold to change player position to match whatever orientation the table is at. And then the app just gets even cooler. So again, you have the die, whatever decides who goes first. The needle turns around, keeps track of the turn numbers, which is really cool. And what's really cool for tracking statistics is that you can actually tap and point to individual players, and it will show up in the statistics that David dealt 15 damage to Evan. So it'll track the damage done by individual players to individual players, which is really advanced. And to the best of my knowledge, this is the only app that offers this feature yet. So you're going to go ahead and end the game. Saving history. And then you can go into the statistics. It has all the players, have a group, have a league, a number of players in game, statistics per game, and then you can have beginning date, end date. So if you want to have kind of a week-long tournament going, you can set the interval, and it'll have everything. Games played for each player, how many they survived, survival ratio, kills, EDH kills, average life, damage inflicted, damage per hit. So yeah, really thorough integration of statistics here. I don't really use it hardly ever, but if you do use it, it's definitely all in this one app. So yeah, that's about the basics of this app. Let's just go into settings, see some of the customization options. You can set them to give the decks random colors, turn sound effects on or off, prevent sleep, which is a useful feature because oftentimes your iPad or your phone is going to be sitting there a long time as people think about moves, so you can turn that on just to prevent the screen from going to sleep or whatever. You can set the turn direction to run clockwise or counterclockwise. You can customize the appearance of the app. I personally like the more classic appearance like that, but you can choose whichever one you want. You can even select a background image, so you can restore default, choose existing photo, and it does have support for poison counters for players of older formats or just casual formats where you don't care about the set. You can time the game, 5 minutes to up to 180 minutes. Each player either gets the time or the total game is timed. So that's about it for this app as well. So you got Magic's Little Helper, your go-to app for keeping score during games, and Decked Builder, which I also have on my iPad. as your go-to app for on-the-go deck building and sharing. Both of these apps, again, they aren't free. You're going to have to pay a few bucks for them, but you're going to be getting just the most premium experience on a mobile device, to my knowledge, for basically all of your Magic the Gathering needs. So that's about it for this video. Those are just the two apps that I use every day as a Magic player, and I'd highly recommend them to you as well. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more Magic the Gathering content.